And we greet you on this Tuesday late afternoon from the Regional Training Center in Virginia Beach, as it is a Beach District field hockey matchup today featuring the reigning five-time state champion Frank W. Cox Falcons with a record of 9-3-1 overall, taking on the Kellam Knights, who come in at 8-6 overall. And this matchup today is brought to you by the Drip Bar, one of our new sponsors on board. We thank them for specializing in IV vitamin therapy, IM shots, halotherapy, and hydrofacials. The average person can only absorb 20 to 50% of vitamins they take by mouth, but through IV, the absorption is nearly 100%. They take care of clients with all various needs to provide an energy boost for athletes, to supportive therapy for cancer patients. There's something for everyone at the Drip Bar. And you can find out more about the Drip Bar by going to thedripbar.com. It's located in Lansdowne Commons here in Virginia Beach, and they're open until 6 p.m. But today it's a matchup between the Cox Falcons, who will be in the white uniforms with the green numerals, and the Kellam Knights, who have the black jerseys with the gold numerals. We'll give you the rosters for these two teams in just a moment, but the regular season is winding down for both of these squads. Cox had a big win last week after the triple overtime loss to First Colonial as they responded with a 6-0 win over Kempsville. And again, we brought you right here on the Beach Sportsplex streaming page and Virginia Beach Sportsplex YouTube channel to go with beachsportsplex.com as they responded from that loss to FC with a 6-0 win over the Chiefs, 4 goals from Megan Spear, the Dartmouth commit. Meanwhile, Kellam has been surging ever since an early season slow start where they were 0-3 to begin the year, but 31 goals so far in 14 games for Melina Magnano, who we spoke to earlier in the season, the Liberty commit, and we'll go down the roster for Coach Nicole Morgan's team in just a second, as well as Taylor Roundtree's Falcons of Cox, who have possession to get underway here. And for Cox, in fact, it's going to be a lot of the usual suspects that we highlighted just this past week for them in their win over Kempsville that will be crucial to their success. You have in numerical order. We'll start first with Kellam, actually. For them, in terms of their roster rundown, as we watched at midfield, they get it to Magnano. She's number 7 there on the attack. Kellam trying to get something created here less than a minute in. Number 1 is going to be Arden Mariano, a sophomore midfielder. Number 2 is Lucy Wilhelm, a freshman midfielder and defender. 3, Gracie Cooper, junior midfielder and defender. Captain Lily Turner wears number 4 for the Knights. She's a senior forward and midi. 6 is Sammy Neidhold, junior forward. 7 is the captain Melina Magnano, who we just mentioned, the Liberty Flames commit. Helped them notch a recent win 2-1 over Great Bridge just the other day to get the Knights to 8-6 on this season after that 0-3 start. Kate Hayden wears number 8. She's a junior defender. Noah Netterveld, a junior defender, wearing 10. Ellis Cannon, a junior midfielder who was our first Il Giardino Chicken Parm Player of the Week recipient when she had 4 goals, and I believe that might have been against Kempsville, in fact. Cece Holmes, a senior, a defender wearing 12 for the Knights. Maisie Boyce, senior midfielder and forward, wearing 13. Layla Zani, a junior midfielder, wearing 14. Then you have Piper Shakitka, freshman midfielder and forward, wearing 15. 16 is freshman forward Lane Austin. Harper Barba, freshman forward, wearing 17. Carly Porter, watch out for her, number 18, sophomore defender. Lily Engstadt, junior forward, wearing 20. Emmy Pisterman, 22, senior midfielder. And Alana Voches, sophomore forward and midfielder, wearing 27. Your goalies are Jamie Loy, the junior, wearing 99. And sub-goalkeeper is Kylie Hayden, a sophomore, for Coach Nicole Morgan's Kellam Knights. And we'll give you the unit here for the Cox Falcons with the green numerals and white jerseys in a second, as they're going to try to draw the game's first penalty corner, and they do so successfully just a moment ago there. We watch Trot out there set to put this one into play. That for Cox goes right by the intended target. We're about to get our second corner. Sophia Birch was the one that put that into play a moment ago. She's wearing number 2 for the Falcons. And you saw Irma Bailey, number 5, a second ago, also in position. Let's give the roster for Cox under Coach Taylor Roundtree as we watch their second penalty corner as Birch trots back out there. Give you that here after this penalty corner. Going to be deflected out as Mac Dare had a good look at it. Picked up by Cox on the move here near sideline with Rose Holland. And then it trickles out of play. Number 1 for Cox is Joey Savino. 2, Sophia Birch, an all-state performer a season ago. 3, Megan Spear, the Dartmouth commit. 4, Emily Tromley. 5, Irma Bailey. 7, Rose Holland. 8, Lena Harkin. 11, Mac Dare. 14, Adelie Booth. 17, Bella Terry. Then you have also the likes of Ava Amuel, number 6, and number 9, Reagan Cho, in the booklet for the Falcons of Cox. And don't want to leave out the goalkeepers. Number 22 is Isabel Pardo. And then your sub-goalie is 24, Kelly Workman. And that one's going to roll out of play towards the fence here with just a little over 9 minutes to go in this first period. Cloudy conditions today. No rain in the forecast. Keep our fingers crossed for that. Temperatures will dip down to 50 tonight with the low. Right now it is a cool 64 degrees. A little bit of a breeze, though, up to about 10 miles per hour. Not heavy winds, but Cox with its third penalty corner as they're starting to control possession more here after Kellam had it to begin this opening stanza. And they're going with that chip airborne. It's going to go out of play. Cox trying to go in flight to get that first goal of the game. Another penalty corner now coming up for the Falcons here as we've got Birch set to put it into play. And that one's going to be shot right through by Megan Spear with 7:54 to go. Fourth penalty corner pays off with Megan Spear with a missile there. Actually, you know what? They did not rule that a goal. They continued on play as it hit the back of the... I thought that hit the back of the net. Apparently they did not allow that as a goal. My goodness, it sure looked like one to me. But the officials say no goal. Officials signal no goal. Thought that was going to be a goal there for Megan Spear. So it remains scoreless here. Do apologize about that. Thought that was our first goal of the contest. Looking to check in now for the Falcons. We see number 9 into our screen. And that, of course, is Reagan Cho. Kellam about to have a substitute in number 17 as well, in Harper Barba. Cho enters the game. Falcons now with Spear rolling to her right, then crosses back left. Good movement there. Falcons threatening with Birch in that shooter circle area, but it's going to be possession over to Kellam now. So the Knights are holding tough here after 4 golden looks for Cox. Sort of started out similarly against Kempsville, where Cox took a while to break through, but they're closing in on a few of these opportunities. See another game going on field 2 right behind us. And that one is involving the Ocean Lakes Dolphins and the Tallwood Lions. Later on, Green Run and Lancetown set to square off. Another corner coming up for Cox. This is their 5th of the opening frame. As they are persistent in knocking on the door here. Looks like it will be one of their better creators and passers again. Sophia Burke from the opposite side puts it into Spear. And this time it's going to be a goal for sure. So Megan Spear actually gets the goal, only 2 minutes and 56 seconds later than we thought she would off a penalty corner. As Birch finds Spear the game's first goal to make it 1-0 in favor of Cox. We'll fix that score bug for you in just a jiffy. So hang in there with us as we work on that. And Cox regaining possession quickly. There we go. We got the right score up on the board for you. 1-0 Cox lead here on the Knights of Kellam, as they're being shown as the home team today, and Kellam as the guest on the scoreboard that you're watching here, with the Knights trying to operate in front with that goal. And they're going to get their first penalty corner of the contest. They did a nice job attacking on that sequence. Behind Magnano and company. Magnano did a good job of stepping through there to intercept that pass and then try to send it into the center area. Looks like that might have been towards number 12 for the Knights in CeCe Holmes, but I couldn't quite tell. So now as we get a little zoom action in here, we'll see who this passer is on the entry. It looks like it's going to be Sammy Needhold, who has operated with it quite often this year. Sophia Birch able to show her quickness and get in front of that intended shot on goal by Ellis Cannon. So a lot more shots so far for Cox, but Kellam keeping possession here, as it's going to be Needhold getting into Magnano. And Milena, who's been such an instrumental force here for this Kellam team throughout the year. We mentioned the numbers that are just mighty impressive. 31 goals, 7 assists. Ellis Kinnan has 14 goals to go with 9 assists, while Maisie Boyce has 5 goals. But if you do the math, of the team's goals, 45 of the 65 have been scored by 2 players, Magnano and Cannon. Percentage-wise, we're talking, that is 69%. Substitution about to take place for Kellam, as we'll watch number 27 come into the game, and that is Elena Voches. Cox has set to come in number 8 for them, and Lena Harkin. Knights trying to dig out of their own attacking third area. Cox able to jump in front of it well with McDare. Airborne long hit there up ahead, and Cox is going to chase it down behind Spear, who will get to it well before Harper Barba can. Magnano trying to get her stick down to get a quick intercept. Stay hydrated with Gatorade, one of our sponsors here at the Training Center and the Sportsplex. All kinds of Gatorade flavors. Gatorade Zero. Log on to Gatorade.com for more hydration solutions for every active occasion. Distributed in over 80 countries here, including the great USA. Cox on the move, and that time it's going to get poked away. It's a good job of getting in front of that by Gracie Cooper for Kellam, junior midfielder and defender. Cox trying to get that second goal before the opening period expires. And came mighty, mighty close there on that sequence. It's going to result in their 6th penalty corner as the first period will draw to a close. Cox gets it in. There's Spear again. Little crossover move, and now tries to make a short pass to the far post side, and it's just going to wiggle away from her intended target, and we'll reach the end of one quarter with Cox leading Kellam 1-0 thanks to a connection, Sophia Birch to Megan Spear, one that's quite familiar to Cox Falcons fans. We'll step aside and come back with our second period in just a moment here from the Regional Training Center on this cloudy Tuesday afternoon, a couple weeks before Halloween. And let's hear from CHKD Sports Medicine.
Revitalize your property today. Shine Time is your turnkey solution for all power washing and painting projects. With years of experience in both residential and large-scale commercial settings, their focus is to bring new life to your home, building, or outdoor space and ensure 100% customer satisfaction every time. Shine Time Power Wash.
Soup Eatery, one of our proud sponsors of high school sports and youth activities here at the Regional Training Center in Virginia Beach. When you stop in at Soup Eatery, you can build the perfect boxed lunch. They have customizable and individually packaged meals. For your convenience, choose from any of the wide variety of soups, fresh salads, made-to-order sandwiches, all served with a hunk of bread, plus dessert. There's something for the whole crew when you stop in at Soup Eatery. Soup Eatery is located at 1909 Lansdowne Centerway, Unit 160, in the Lansdowne Place Shopping Center. And you can pay them a visit. They're open until 8 p.m. Online.zoop.com for the complete menu. That's online.zoup.com, and give them a call at 757-821-7800. That's 757-821-7800. Try the chicken fajita, the chicken pot pie, the broccoli cheddar, and so much more at Soup Eatery. Cox Falcons lead the Kellam Knights by a count of 1-0 as we are a little more than 45 seconds into this second period. Cox working from right to left on your screen or your tablet, your phone, wherever you're watching this broadcast on. And there's a nice nifty feed as Joey Savino's going to score the goal for Cox, the 13:58 mark of our second quarter. Really good pinpoint short passing for Cox to slowly inch towards the net, and they worked it well, beginning with Birch. And then a good find, I believe, by number 8 was the one that had the assist there for Cox, and Lena Harkin. We're going to give her the assist. Really good execution. I think Coach Roundtree has to be very pleased with that as they lead it by 2 goals now. It gives them a little bit more of a breathing room here against this red-hot Knights team that coming into this matchup in terms of their performance, they've won 3 straight games, a 65-32 goals margin edge. And this is after losing to Cary Christian 3-2, First Colonial 2-0, and Western Branch 3-0 to begin the season before that 7-1 breakthrough versus Kempsville, where Ellis Cannon was the one that stole the show. They won 3 in a row to the Knights then until the September 28th loss in overtime, 4-3 against Princess Anne, where the JMU commit Sydney Regini really stepped up in a major way for PA. And right now, Cox trying to hold off the likes of Princess Anne and I believe a couple other teams for that second spot in the 5A power ratings. Nice jump through there for the Falcons. I think that's Megan Spear. It is Megan Spear. She's got 2 teammates. Their little 3-on-2 opportunity. Can't connect on the pass inside the shooter circle area. It's going to be smacked out of play towards the fence. But we see a lot of energy from this Cox outfit here to begin the second quarter, as they wasted no time to expand their lead to 2 goals. Only a minute and 2 ticks in. And you do wonder if Cox in many ways will be the favorite in many people's eyes to begin the Region 5A tournament, despite losing to First Colonial and Triple OT. Those 2 teams might be destined to run into each other again. Kellam, one of those squads trying to play spoiler. They've had a nice season. Probably wishing that they were still in 6A. I think their state playoff chances would be better. They made the state quarters a year ago. 5A very competitive when you throw in Great Bridge despite their recent struggles. They've won 3 consecutive state titles in Class 4. Princess Anne on the rise. Kempsville no slouch at 8-4 coming into the day under Coach Amber Jones. In fact, in our Field Hockey with Hatfield Top 10 that was on the podcast earlier today, if you missed that podcast, it's up on our Virginia Beach Sportsplex YouTube channel. Also, it will be linked up on virginiapreps.com for folks to just click on there and watch. Subscribe to both the YouTube channel and Virginia Preps. You won't be disappointed for all you local sports and high school fans out there. Class 5 featuring and you throw in 5B with Nansman River. I think I misspoke on the podcast saying that Menchville's the favorite there. I did forget that Nansman River is in 5B now. They were once a school that played at the Class 4 level, and nonetheless, Nansman River, Princess Anne, Menchville, Cox, First Colonial, half the top 10 teams from the Class 5 level. 2 private schools with Norfolk Academy, who's unbeaten and nationally ranked number 1. Catholic, number 8 in our rankings at 11-3 overall. And then you got Poquoson, who's down at Class 3, and Tab, who's down at Class 3. Tab, interestingly enough, has won 61 straight games. Wendy Wilson's Tigers 15-0 on the year. As we watch our second penalty corner of this, check that, our first penalty corner of this quarter. 7th of the game for the Cox Falcons. There's Birch getting it in. Just on the tip of the circle area. Trying to flick it in. Won't happen on that sequence for the Falcons. A couple of subs ready to come in for Kellam. I believe Kate Hayden's one of them. I hear a lot of vocal communication out there, both sides. In this battle right now as Cox has possession again, working into Kellam territory. It's going to be a little too far in front of Spear. Knight ready to bring in, Sammy Neidhold as well as number 20, Lily Engstedt. Kellam gets it up ahead to Sammy Neidhold. It's worth noting that in the Knights' 2-1 win over Great Bridge, Jamie Loy made 5 saves in that game. Magnano had both goals. Other results on Monday in field hockey action: Grafton beat Smithfield 6-0 behind 2 goals from Emma Bryant. Grassfield edging Ocean Lakes 1-0 as Callie Hyman had the shutout for the Grizzlies. And Mika Hilberger with a pair of goals for Tab, which secured its 24th Bay Rivers District title with a 2-0 shutout of Poquoson and 61 consecutive wins. That puts them 8 off the mark that Cox set back in the 90s when they won 69 games in a row. An absolutely incredible streak. Now, some will argue if they do catch it, is it going to be as impressive because the competition level in the Bay Rivers might not stack up to the competition level of, say, the Beach District. But you win that many games in a row, regardless if it's as impressive, more impressive, less impressive, it's mighty strong stuff, any way you slice it. Not an easy feat. As substitution, we watch Maisie Boyce check out for Kellam and Lily Engstedt come in. That one's going to roll over. Right next to a couple of new signs here at the training center. Both of which are located right next to the Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burger sign, and gives me a chance to tell you that Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers are located in Virginia Beach, Hampton, Chesapeake, and Williamsburg. They've got delicious cooked-to-order double steak burgers and crispy shoestring fries seasoned with Freddy's famous seasoning. And just when you say the words Freddy's, it makes people that are hungry like James Timmons wake up immediately. If they're nodding off, they can finish it off with the signature turtle sundae and creamy frozen custard. Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers must be the place to take care of that appetite. All right, another penalty corner now for the Falcons as we tick under 6:20 to go in the first half. As I see Scotty Tyson walk by, donning the red today. I don't know if anybody's ever told Scotty this, and I hope somebody does. He could pass. His doppelganger could be Daryl Yandel. If you don't know who that is, that's one of my Saturday co-hosts on the podcast, Ed Young's former assistant basketball coaches from Nansemond River and from Suffolk High when he coached with Coach Yandel. Someone's going to have to pass that on to Daryl Yandel and to Scotty, that they could pass for twinsies. It's a better doppelganger, folks, than the Troy Aikman Jay-Z comparison that the former Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl winning quarterback and Pro Football Hall of Famer mentioned on the broadcast of the Monday Night Football game between the Cowboys and Los Angeles Chargers. It's better than that one, trust me when I say that. Up to now, I believe 9 penalty corners and counting for the Falcons as it's Spear over to Birch, and that one's going to take a ricochet and a hop, but Kellam is going to avoid falling behind by 3 for the time being. And meanwhile, another substitution for Coach Morgan as Maisie Boyce returns. And checking out is Lucy Wilhelm, the freshman midfielder and defender. We'll walk over to that little exit area and sit down on the bench right by that Gatorade cooler. Probably stay hydrated and get some water or Gatorade there as we're looking at under 4.5 minutes to go now. Substitution for Cox as we watch number 6 return for them for number 14. And if you're wondering who those individuals are, I've got you covered. Once I can pull my roster sheet back up, which froze momentarily. Ava Emuel in for Adelie Booth. Under 4 minutes to go now in the first half. Kellam trying to get something created, but Falcons making it hard to get inside that attacking third. That one's going to take a hop. A little mini skip, and it will sail out of play. As far as the schedules go, these two teams pretty much watching it wind down. This is the regular season finale, I do believe, for Cox. We'll double check that. But they'll wait 8 days from now to see where they line up for the regionals. And meanwhile, for Kellam, they have one more game in 3 days against Nansemond River. If I'm not mistaken, that game is here at the training center. And it has to be played here at the training center because I believe Nansemond River is unable to host that game due to its football team hosting Grassfield for homecoming. And Kellam also has a home football game against Lancetown. So neither football, or I should say turf field, will be available. So they're having that game at the training center coming up on Friday if you want to go check that game out. As always, with the folks at Hometown Sports Productions, subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Virginia Beach Sportsplex, and you'll get notifications when we go on the air live. Check out our playlists for our podcasts, for the On the Hash with Hatfield football podcast, which comes your way on Thursdays, the field hockey podcast that gets up every Tuesday. Earlier today we did one. I'll tell you about our special guests we had on earlier as we get another penalty corner for the Falcons. And then our 757 Saturday Sports Talk with yours truly, Matt Hatfield, and the coach, Ed Young, as we go around the world of the local sports scene and beyond. We had on David Glenn this past week to talk some college football with him. It's going to take a hop, another chance here off the rebound for the Falcons. Staying after it, but good job by Loy, who had a couple of saves there, moving her feet very well in front of the net. It's Jamie Loy. Watch Mac Dare stay after it for Cox, but another corner coming up for the Falcons as there's going to be 4 subs with Arden Mariano, Lucy Wilhelm, Lane Austin, and Harper Barbara all set to come in for the Knights, but this will be the 11th penalty corner if I didn't miss one for Cox. And the Knights If not for pretty solid goalkeeping from Loy, they'd be down more. Rolling to the right and spinning it through was Megan Spear, the Dartmouth commit, with her second goal. And Spear makes it 3-0 for Cox. So she's doing quite well on this surface. She had 4 goals last Thursday, now has 2 of the team's 3 goals in this matchup. Might be in line for the Il Giardino Chicken Parm Player of the Week honor for next week. It went over to First Colonial's Parker Roll, the goalkeeper who was able to shut out Cox last week. On the podcast earlier today, we had interviews with the Norfolk Academy dynamic duo of Lizzie Adams and Joji Purdy. Adams, who is headed to Columbia, and Purdy, who is committed to Penn State. Hear what they had to say about why they chose those schools, their big win over Collegiate from Richmond, as well as their favorite Halloween candy, which we talked about on last Thursday's broadcast, with Halloween just 14 days away. Plus, we also caught up with Amber Jones of Kempsville, who's in action right now as we speak against First Colonial in a key matchup. FC trying to get a win to secure the Beach District crown. But here comes Cox with a 2-0 matchup, basically with the goalkeeper waiting for Savino and her teammate. And Savino had it and then just sort of lost direction for a second. She has the other goal for Cox in this game. Lena Harkin was right near her, and Kellam's going to get one little swipe at it as the time expires. 0-0's on the clock, and we're at halftime, folks, from the training center in Virginia Beach. It's Cox on top of Kellam, 3-0 as we've reached intermission here in this matchup. We'll step aside and come back with more in just a little bit as you're watching field hockey action from the Plex right here on the Virginia Beach Sportsplex website, beachsportsplex.com, and on our YouTube channel with the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. Now this from Vlac.
After more than 50 years of innovation, AstroTurf still leads the way. The inventor of artificial turf does it all, right here in the USA. We engineer, test, manufacture, and install the world's most innovative fibers and turf technologies, with over 30,000 tracks and fields worldwide. AstroTurf, powered by Sport Group.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
After more than 50 years of innovation, AstroTurf still leads the way. The inventor of artificial turf does it all, right here in the USA. We engineer, test, manufacture, and install the world's most innovative fibers and turf technologies, with over 30,000 tracks and fields worldwide. AstroTurf, powered by Sport Group.
Revitalize your property today. Shine Time is your turnkey solution for all power washing and painting projects. With years of experience in both residential and large-scale commercial settings, their focus is to bring new life to your home, building, or outdoor space and ensure 100% customer satisfaction every time. Shine Time Power Wash.
Shine Time Power Wash and Paint Professionals. Revitalize your property today. Shine Time is your turnkey solution for all power washing and painting projects with years of experience in both residential and large-scale commercial settings. Their focus is to bring new life to your home, building, or outdoor space and ensure 100% customer satisfaction every time. Shine Time Power Wash. Find them on the web at shinetimeinc.com. Give them a call at 757-79-75645. That's 757-797-5645 to learn more and get them taken care of your home situation. Building or outdoor space too. All right, second half is underway. Cox leading Kellam 3-0. They got goals in the first half courtesy of Megan Spear at the 4:58 mark of the first period off an assist from Sophia Birch during a penalty corner. Just a minute and 2 seconds into the second period, Joey Savino scored a goal off an assist from Lena Harkin. And then in the 55-second mark of the second period, it was Megan Spear getting her second goal off a penalty corner. Falcons had 11 penalty corners in the first half compared to just one for Kellam, which comes in on a 3-game winning streak. But the Knights in those black unis with the gold numerals, they definitely have their work cut out for them to rally in this one and get their 9th win of the season, with one regular season tilt remaining for them on the docket as they're slated to take on, coming up in their last game before the playoffs begin. Kellam is set to be in action in an out-of-district matchup against Nansemond River on Friday here at the training center. Meanwhile, this is it for Cox until the postseason, as they're going to go in 24-time state champs, 5-time reigning state champions. If you're wondering about Cox's history as far as the state championships go, they've taken on pretty much all comers. Even before the split from 6 classifications, or I should say 3 classifications to 6, they were a mighty dominant program going back to the many years under Nancy Folks. And you think of just the history they've had in field hockey, from Folks to Julie Swain and now Taylor Roundtree. Last year they beat Nansemond over 2-0. The year before that defeated First Colonial 2-0. 2020 had an overtime win, 1-0 over Stafford. 2019, a 4-1 win over Mountain View. So they've beaten 2 schools from the 757 area code, one of which is in their own district, one in their own backyard. They could run into both of those teams conceivably again this year in the postseason. And they beat 2 schools from the Fredericksburg-Stafford area in Mountain View and Stafford. Last time they didn't win a state championship, well, you got to go back to 2017, as we mentioned. They also won in 2018 a double overtime triumph over FC, 1-0, as they were a Class 6 school then. So was FC. They both have dropped down to Class 5 since then. So you watch the Falcons work from left to right in those white unis with the green numerals. Try to spring one in again here. Good look from number 5, Irma Bailey. And we've got our first penalty corner of the half. But 2017, it was Westfield beating First Colonial 2-1 in the Class 6 final. Year before that, though, in 2016, it was Cox winning it as a 6A school over FC. 2015, FC beat them 6-2. So if you go all the way back to 2014, they've played in the state championship every year, I think, but one. Little teamwork from Spear to Birch. The opposite of that team. Usually it's Birch to Spear, we've been calling out, but another corner coming up as Kellam couldn't dig away from that. It's probably the most penalty corners I've seen in a game. As I see some of the junior varsity players at the training center. Think back to the 7 consecutive state championships Cox won from 1989 to 1995. That was quite a feat. I mean, they pretty much have played in the state. So they played in the state championship from 89. They lost in 96 to Kempsville in double overtime, 1-0. They then played in the next 3, winning all 3 over Lake Braddock twice and James River Midlothian. So they played in every state championship game from 89 to 99. It's 11 in a row. They didn't play in 2000 through 2003, had a 4-year gap. But then 04 they did, 06, 07, 08, 09, and then they did it again in 12. And then 14, 15, 16. And they've played in every year but that since, it feels like. Because in 17, they moved down to the Class 5. No, check that. 17, they did not. From some 2018 on, they've played in every title game. 2018 through 2022. So we're going to do the math on this to see how many years they've played in the state championship game. It rivals what Princess Anne girls basketball has done. So they've played in 25 state championship games, if my math is right. Since 1989. "25 times in the last 34 years they've played in the state championship game. That's just unheard of. And someone shouted out in the background. I couldn't tell who that was. It must have been someone in an Orioles sweatshirt that said the Yankees did that back in the, Gehrig, Mantle, Mays. Well, not Mays wasn't a Yankee, but Gehrig, Mantle, Yogi Berra era. Babe Ruth would be going way, way back. Back in the 50s, 60s when they were a dynasty. It's quite impressive. as that one's going to be hit out of play. Triple subs coming in for Kellam. It's not a 2 for Tuesday like some sub shop around here has, but it's a 3 for Tuesday. A triple coming in for the Kellam Knights. See, I didn't shout them out because they don't sponsor. If they sponsor, I'll give them all the shout outs in the world they want. Sammy Neidhold about to come in for Kellam, as well as Maisie Boyce and Elena Voches. Like Cox has a substitute coming in as well, as we watch number 4, Emily Tromley, enter the game. I think Bella Terry is the one that's going to... No, Bella Terry's right there on the side in here. The sideline will move in. So not sure who was the one that exited for Cox. So we've hit under 6 minutes, and it feels like Kellam's gotten a tad bit stagnant. They've done some positive things in this matchup, but Cox has really continued to put the pressure on these penalty corners. Again, our game today brought to you by the Drip Bar. Go pay them a visit here in the heart of Virginia Beach, Lansdowne Commons, one of our new sponsors on board. Glad to have them join our growing team. As the playoffs for the regionals are set to begin a week from tomorrow on the 25th of October. So there'll be some playoff field hockey coming your way. Next week, we'll have a better idea of pairings, hopefully by, say, Monday. I think it's the final regular season date for games. I believe Kempsville's got one on Monday, as they're at Minchville, if I remember right from my conversation with Amber Jones last week. But pretty much your regular season cutoff has to be, I believe, by next Tuesday or so, if not next Monday. There's Megan Spear again, as she weaves her way through to the attacking third, and that's going to be halted here for Kellam, a chance to try to wrestle some momentum away. Cox did not drop far at all in our top 10 rankings. They only dropped a spot from 2 to 3, and they're still looking mighty, mighty strong, like a contender here. As that was Spear trying to get a hat trick here. She'd like to do that before this day is done. You look at the Falcons' schedule this year, the losses, the blemishes, they're not ones that you would say are bad losses by any stretch of the imagination. They fell to the number 1 team in the country in Norfolk Academy, who they played back on September 27th by a count of 5-1. And that game was close until late in the first half when Academy got 2 goals about 20, 30 seconds apart from each other. And they did have a draw with Torrey Pines on September 22nd. North Hunterdon in that Max Field Hockey Tournament beat them 2-0. And First Colonial, in terms of the shootouts, I think it was 3-2, but the final tally, I guess, is officially 1-0 in triple OT as we watch another penalty corner coming up for the Falcons. I think this is their 14th of the game, if I haven't lost count of that. As we close in on 3 minutes to go in this third quarter. Trying to nudge one through, and they do just that. Looks like that Sophia Birch who was able to tap it in with 2:49 to go in the third period. Very resilient group, staying after it. They don't give up on those penalty opportunities, as Cox is leading it 4-0. There's a jet flying over top of us here with under 3 minutes to go in this third period. A lot of skill in these young ladies who are showing off some transition skills right now. Good teamwork to get that one through, as that's an easy goal for the Falcons. Combination of Savino and trying to check who that passer was. Thought I saw a 7, but I'm not totally positive of that. We'll work on getting that for you here with 2:25 to go in the third quarter, but we do believe that's Joey Savino's second goal. So Cox scoring 2 in a span of 24 ticks from one another. We'll check out the replay to see if we can get a better idea of who that was scoring for the Falcons. We'll stay with that passer here on the watch the replay. Doesn't look like a 7, but I don't see a 7 on the roster sheet. Unless I'm just missing it. Oh, there's a 7. That might have been Rose, in fact. There is a 7, excuse me. It might have been Rose Holland with the assist. I think it was Rose Holland. That's who we're going to give it to for the time being. The other 7 for Kellam, Melina Magnano, able to come up with that stop defensively. But 3 white shirts hovering around her, so not a lot of room to operate. As we're ticking down in this third quarter. Chance to tell you that if you want to eat better and feel better, the place to stop in at is Tropical Smoothie Cafe. They're located all across the state of Virginia and right across the street from Tidewater Community College on Princess Anne Road here in Virginia Beach. They're bursting with fresh flavors. They offer grab-and-go catering plus boxed lunches. Go on into Tropical Smoothie Cafe. The website is tropicalsmoothiecafe.com for more details where you can view the menu and also see about rewards, catering, gift cards, careers, and how you can download the app and find a cafe near you. Wanderlust, but make it chocolate and order now. They've got I see the cranberry truffle and the new chocolate truffle at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. And if you need your food delivered, they got you covered. Enter the delivery address and they'll ship your delivery out to you. Cox is on the move again, but Kellam's going to halt them with just under 20 ticks to go. Can they keep it at only 5-0 as we get ready to end the third quarter? That is the big question. And the Falcons are able to deflect one in there. How about that? With Birch and Savino hugging one another with 3 seconds to go in the quarter. How they got that one to go, I'm not really sure. I think we'll give it to Birch. We'll watch the replay again. I think it was Birch who had the goal. If it was her, it's her second. Cox, though, with 3 here in the second half. Birch, Savino, and company each scoring, and they are in control 6-0 in this matchup with the Kellam Knights, looking like a title contender yet again under Coach Ted Roundtree. We're going to step aside and hear from Chicho's Pizza, a place where you can get 99 cents each and every Wednesday from 5 to 9 p.m. It's the perfect time to gather up friends and family and start a new hump day. So that concludes our broadcast today. We want to thank our entire team, from Garrett Jackson on camera to Nick Sente, Chuck Thornton, James Timmons. I'm Matt Hatfield. We appreciate you watching. A mercy rule finish of 6-0 in favor of the Cox Falcons, who improved their record to 10-3-1 on the season. The Kellam Knights dropped to 8-7 on the year. We'll talk to you next time from the Regional Training Center in Virginia Beach. This is Matthew Hatfield signing off and saying, stay safe, everyone. Have a great rest of your Tuesday night here. Thanks for watching Field Hockey Action on BeachSportsplex.com and on the YouTube channel with the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. Now this from Black.